Today we're going to be doing the Giants Foundry. First of all, thank you Tanner Ratcliffe for catching me online today and kind of inspiring me to make another quick video for y'all, so I really appreciate that. Alright, in order to do this minigame, you do need to do the Sleeping Giant quest first, which is basically just a little tutorial for the minigame. I'd also really recommend you having ice gloves, otherwise you're going to have to bring a bucket of water every time and it's really annoying. You can wear Graceful, you don't really have to. I just wear it because it goes with the ice gloves, the blue Graceful does. So, alright, so you might be wondering if this game is worth doing. I would say sometimes. It's kind of situational. If you're trying to get the smithing set or the Colossal Blade, which is the new best two-hander for 60 attack peers, then definitely go for it. Otherwise, if you're on a tight budget and just need some smithing experience, it can be worthwhile. Or if you're a very low level smithing, like under 40 smithing, and you just want to get a quick start, you can come here and do it very quickly. Otherwise, smithing gold at the blast furnace with goldsmith gauntlets is far and away faster, of course, and it only requires 40 smithing. That being said, I find the blast furnace to be soul destroying. I can't do it for very long, so this is a nice change of pace. It's a good balance between like the extreme AFK version, which would be smithing armor at an anvil and Prif, versus the extreme interactivity of blast furnace. It's somewhere in the middle there, and so it's just a good change of pace. Honestly, I kind of like it. Some very important information though. The bar ratios may not be what you are expecting them to be for the different tiers of gear or of sword. So for the Mithril and Addy tier, I've actually found that doing 18 of the Mithril bars and 10 of the Addy gives you still really high experience, like 175k experience per hour, sometimes even more than doing 14 and 14, because you only have to do 5 tasks instead of 6 tasks. It's kind of RNG whether or not you can sneak in an extra sword because of that, but I just find it a little bit more relaxing and you can pay a little bit less attention. So I would always go for one less task for a very comparable score. So for the Steel and Mithril tier, you could do 20 Steel and 8 Mithril, and that is the same as Addy and Rune. 20 Addy and 8 Rune. It's going to save you money. I wouldn't recommend ever even using Rune. I would recommend sticking to the Mithril and Addy just because of the cost associated with the rune bars. But if you are going to do Addy and Rune, I'd recommend either 20 Addy and 8 Rune or 19 Addy and 9 Rune, because that is going to have you only doing 6 tasks instead of 7 tasks. And I'll explain more about what I mean by tasks when we get to that spot. So, alright, so if you are here at the bank, the first thing you're going to do is fill your crucible. So we'll fill the Addy bars, and we'll fill the Mithril bars. And if you've been going through this, you likely already accepted a commission from Kovac, but I'm going to do that now. And he's the same person that's going to give you the reward. So, if you're here long term, sure, get all the recipes, get the Smith's Tunic, and then get Colossal Blade if you want I just want it for a cosmetic basically. But alright, so we've got that in there. We're going to we've got our commission, so now we're going to pick our pieces. Basically look for the ones that have 2 green in it. The highest green, 8 and 8 is very good for this tier. 8 and 6, also pretty good. And ooh, so let's go with that. Sure, I think they're pretty equal. Yeah. Okay, so we'll set the mold, and then we will go pour it out. And then this is where ice gloves I think come in handy too, is picking up the mold jig. So once we get it, we'll see that here's what I mean by tasks. Here's my 5 tasks. If I would have done 14 Mithril and 14 Addy bars, I would have 6 of these. Sure, they'd be smaller, but that's just more tasks, and I would rather not have to switch between what I'm doing that often because I screw it up enough as it is. So we're going to cool it off a little bit while I explain that. Here's the quality meter, this is the temperature meter, and this is the task meter. So since we're doing a red task, it needs to be in the red temperature. I just cooled it off in the waterfall there to get it down into the red. You can right click and do the second option to do faster rate of cooling or heating. Alright, so we're just going to get this started, enough blabbing here. So as you can see, as I'm doing this, the progress goes up, and for this activity it cools it off. It also cools it off during the green one at the polishing wheel, the green task. The yellow one is the only different one where it's going to actually heat it up. So here it's going to get a little bit too close to out of our red range, so we're going to come over here and heat it up a little bit. We're going to do it maybe halfway because I don't think we need to go all the way to finish into the yellow. So as soon as it hits the yellow here, I am going to go and cool it off so that we can get the temperature in the right area. So and I can show you what this quench preform, this faster one, it's going to go pretty quick here. All right. So actually, I wanted to keep going because the grindstone heats it up, like I said earlier. So we'll get it down towards the left side here so that we can get more bang for our buck. All right, so now it should be moving our progress up. Yep, it's also going to be moving temperature up, so that once it gets close to the right side, then we'll go stick it under the waterfall again. And our next task is going to be back in the red, which is perfect because we'll be near the right side of the temperature gauge on here anyways. So we'll cool it off a little bit. Probably could have done the right click one there. Oh well. I'll do the right click one when I come over here, and we'll just try and time it right so that I can get right on the right side of the red. So as soon as this gets over into the red, we'll go heat it up. There we go. And usually these white outlines are correct. Sometimes I feel like it lies to me and dings me for it, but all right, let's go on the red. It's going to cool it off. Oh, nice. There's a little sweet spot. And we're out of the sweet spot. Okay, heat it back up a bit. Perfect. So this should carry us over into the yellow. Now it also kind of depends on how much attention you're paying here. It's easy to screw up if you are not paying attention. I still screw it up even when I am paying attention. So, but I'm not the most tick perfect person here. So all right, so we're just going to cool it down a little bit until we are at the left side of the orange so that we can grind it back up on the grindstone. Could have gone for one more tick there. Oh well, just let it go down a little bit. All right. Oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. It's going to cool off. No! So I messed up there. I got too close to the edge. As you can see, it goes down in heat a little bit over time. So I just messed it up by being a little too careless and letting it get too far out of the range. All right, so we are going to cool it off again once we get towards the right side of the yellow temperature. All right, that should be good enough. We'll do a quench, just knock it down a little bit. All right, so once we get done with the yellow, then we'll want to cool it off again to get it into the green. All right, here we go. And we just want to stop it at the very top of the green so we can get into the polishing wheel. That's going to cool it off, and we're in the home stretch here, so we may need to heat it up one more time. In fact, I'm sure we will. But this has been taking me like I think about 6 minutes or so per sword. I think probably 6 minutes and some change. I'm actually not sure. So it's a nice big experience drop when it happens, which is kind of satisfying. I always like that. I think we might be able to do it in this last one without having to heat it up again. I might have screwed that up. Shoot. So we'll have to go back here and heat it up one last time. There, that should be good. Just getting careless. All right, and there it is. I can go get our reward. And let's see what he says. Good, hand it over, and we will receive another commission. And that's basically it. We got 25k gold from that, which isn't too much of a loss there. In fact, it's pretty close to breaking even. And so you can see I've got my default quantity set to 18, so I can just pick up 18 and then fill the rest with Addy, and then you're back at it. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this video. I will be doing the rune crafting video, the new rune crafting minigame next. I promise that, and then just